Meeting called to order. EJ, can you determine the quorum, please?
Happy to do so, Mr. Chairman. Director Scott Houston, Chairman Tommy Pavai,
Here.
Director Desi Alvarez, Director Don Deere, here, Director Gloria Gray. Mr. Chairman, we have a quorum.
All right, thank you, EJ. Number three, any public comment here in the room or virtual?
Mr. Chairman, we have not received any request for public comment prior to this meeting, though this meeting is being held both virtually. If there's any member of the public that would like to speak under public comment, please indicate so now by raising your virtual hand. Mr. Chairman, I do not see any requests.
Okay, thank you, EJ. Our next item is number 4. Any presentations today?
Staff has no presentation.
Okay, moving right along, item number 5, the action calendar. A, EJ.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, item 5A is to authorize a water bottle filling station application for California Water Service Company. This item will be presented by Tammy Hurley-High, our Senior Water Policy Resources Analyst, and this item begins on packet page 3.
Thank you, EJ. Good afternoon, Chair Pavai, Director Alvarez, and Director Deere. Happy to bring this item for your consideration today. It's being brought to you to provide an update on the program itself, or the monthly update, and then also to consider our recommendation to accept and review water bottle filling station applications, as EJ mentioned, from California Water Service Company. 2 water bottle filling station applications have been submitted by Cal Water. And in addition to the report, we have a presentation slides that begin on page 6 of the committee packet to help guide through this discussion. Thank you. So 2 water bottle filling station applications have been submitted by Cal Water to be installed at their headquarters facility, which is located in the city of Torrance. It is open to their customers, the contractors, and members of the public. Let's see here. Yeah, we can go to the next slide, please. We have a map that we wanted to show you. This map shows California Water Service, their service area, with the black lines that are overlaid by what. It also showed where the headquarters building is located. And although their headquarters is in Torrance, it is surrounded by West Basin Service Area, and it's located right down the street from the city of Lomita. And Cal Water serves its customers in the following surrounding areas I'm going to read off in cities and unincorporated areas of LA County, which is located in West Basin Service Area. And these cities include Carson, Compton, Hermosa Beach, Lomita, Palos Verdes Estates, Rancho Palos Verdes, Rolling Hills Estates, Torrance, and also unincorporated communities of Rancho Dominguez and West Carson. So staff is requesting for the board to consider accepting these 2 water bottle filling station applications to be located at their headquarters facility. Next, I'll go over a monthly update on the program. And then I'll conclude with bringing back again this item for discussion and for your consideration. Next slide, please. All right, so as a monthly update, currently there are 3 applications that we've received so far, 2 from the city of from Inglewood Unified School District, and then 1 from the Gardena Buddhist Church. And next slide, please. Sorry, so that's just a brief look at what our applications have. And then the next slide, so this is just a current list of all of the stations that have been installed or that are still pending installation. So they're still working on the construction parts and getting the station installed. But most recently, what's not on this list, we have received information that new stations have been installed at the Environmental Charter Middle School in Inglewood in Division Two. And then the city of Lawndale in Division Three, they have installed their stations. Next slide, please. So we have a few photos to share with you from the city of Lawndale. These stations are located, there are two locations within City Hall. On the left, it shows the before and after photos of the newly installed station that is placed near their offices. And then on the right is a newly installed station near the kitchen. Next slide, please. This shows the before and after photos, a new bi-level station located in the public corridor hallway at the City Hall. And on average, about 100 people pass through these stations on a daily basis. Next slide, please. So here is showing the budget for this fiscal year, showing the two applications from Inglewood Unified School District and the Gardena Buddhist Church and School. Next slide, please. As mentioned earlier, we received two applications from Cal Water Service. They are requesting funding for one indoor wall-mounted station and one outdoor freestanding station. As a customer agency of West Basin, the Cal Water is an investor-owned water utility providing distribution of water services to residents and businesses within the district service area. I can read the staff recommendation now, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have. So the recommendation is that the board authorizes staff to accept and review water bottle filling station application from Cal Water Service Company. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, if I could add, I just want to let it be known that President Gray has joined us via the phone, so she has been added to the meeting.
Thank you. I'm here. Thank you.
Welcome, Greg. Okay, so thank you for the presentation, and I'll bring it behind the desk and see if we have any questions or concerns on the presentation.
I have some questions. The program's been in place for a long time now, right? And all of the previous installations have been made at public or nonprofit, or for not public or nonprofit organizations. So today we're being asked to consider placing it or giving the money to a for-profit company, which is not consistent with, I think, the past practice of always giving it to schools, cities, and other nonprofits, such as religious organizations. One of the things that we are trying to do is reach out and make this service available so that people will not use non-recyclable plastic bottles and make an overall improvement to our environment, of which I'm very supportive. But I have a concern in kind of shifting the practice and starting to consider giving money to a for-profit company that's going to be used in their offices. I agree that the public will be their customer, contractors, etc. And in the sense of reaching the public, that would be a good thing. But once we kind of broach that mode and go from considering nonprofit organizations to for-profits, what's the difference of giving money to a for-profit water company versus a for-profit organization like a 7-Eleven? 7-Eleven have a lot of public through it, and a lot of us would love to have the convenience of being able to go into a 7-Eleven and refill our water bottles. And other organizations. There are all kinds of um, organizations out there in all of our cities, et cetera, that would probably say, oh, if this is available, I would like to make my facility a site for it. It's a win-win situation all the way around. There's some public that's gonna come in and use the facility, and they would have, and make more, places available for the public to avail themselves of it. So my concern is that I think that we're looking at use of public money, and it should be done primarily to help out public institutions and nonprofits, and jumping over to subsidizing a for-profit organization is a bit too far, and it's not something that I think we should be considering.
Any does,
Thank you.
EJ, you want to respond?
Well, I think that the concerns that you raise are something that West Basin staff weighed. Obviously, the idea there is that the majority of those Cal Water Service customers, the people that would be visiting that site, are obviously West Basin customers, because Cal Water Service Company does not actually serve a portion of Torrance where they're located, for whatever reason that is. But I think, from my perspective, and I've previously managed or helped manage this program, I've weighed this option. I've actually visited most of the sites. When West Basin has a new water bottle filling station, I like to go see it. I like to kind of see what's surrounding it, and kind of the vibe, if you will, of the location. And I would say that if West Basin was open to utilizing this program, it would be nice to see the West Basin logo and a filling station inside of a mall, which would be a private property. It'd be nice to see, and I've asked staff to explore this, potential sites at Dignity Health, because they'll be hosting the Olympics. And I thought it would be a great source of pride, I think, to see that West Basin logo at Olympic events. And again, SoFi Stadium, the properties there where you have, large mass of people coming to the West Basin service area for those events. So there are opportunities. I would say, and I haven't checked all of these, but I do believe we have a couple in what I would call private property areas. One that's most notable to me, I believe, is on the Redondo Beach Pier, which is actually managed by the city of Redondo Beach, but is actually not a city-owned property. It's a city leased property. So there are some nuances to this. I think that the spirit of the program is what Director Alvarez originally alluded to, is kind of reducing the use of single-use plastics, getting people to utilize those things. And we felt that Cal Water Service Company, being a customer of West Basin's and serving a large portion of our service area, and seeing those customers visit that site might be something to consider. And that's the reason we brought it up.
Thank you, EJ. Director Deere, any comments? I didn't hear you there, Director Deere.
Then I'll make a comment. I favor the proposal.
Director Gray, do you have any comments on the presentation that was given? Director Gray, are you still there? Muted. Okay, I just wanted to comment on the presentation. I think it's always great that we're always thinking out of the box when it comes to, our program, the water bottle filling stations. I think this is great on partnering with our partners when it comes to Cal Water, and expanding, all of the resources that Cal Water can help when it comes to water bottle filling stations. Because it is, I see every month when you guys report back on water bottle stations, it's hard. It's hard to get, agencies, other agencies and so forth on board to, even adopt something like this, right? So I agree with this. I think this is great. We're just gonna keep on moving forward and always thinking out of the box when it comes to these type of installations. PJ, what is our next step to, when it comes to the presentation moving forward to the board or?
So I would leave that to the committee. If there's not a consensus of the committee, what we would do is move it to the committee without a committee or move it to the full board without a committee recommendation. Being that I hear you're in support, but I definitely hear you.
I am not moving it forward, so we have to move forward in the full board without a committee recommendation. And I would caution the board because the articulation that this is one of our customers, et cetera. We have a lot of customers, and we have a lot of potential sites that would be great to partner with, and where the West Basin Law would be fantastic. And I just think that at some point, I could come back with a recommendation that we partner with the 7-Eleven stores. They have a tremendous amount of traffic. And that it would be good for our logo to be out there. We have the two sites. Our general manager referred to the Redondo Beach Pier, where we have water bottle filling station. The other one is on the Metlock property. But both of those requests were made by the cities, not by a for-profit company. So we are now going to move into subsidizing for-profit company. That's a big step we're taking. And I'm not comfortable with it. I will not be supporting it. We can have this discussion at the board meeting.
Duly noted.
Mr. Chair.
Okay, Maria, do you have any comments on the presentation that was given?
I do. I have a couple of questions. What's the purpose of the water bottle filling station program? What's the purpose of it?
The origin of the program began through a request by a leadership class in a couple of our cities. The leadership classes were adding, and the leadership is those classes are operated by the city chambers of commerce. And so they're trying to do some beautification efforts, but also there was an effort to reduce single-use plastics in and around the beach areas. And what we found was that the program was growing in popularity. More and more people were carrying their refillable water bottles. And we kind of felt that there was a need to actually expand what we had done for a couple of requests into a program. And so what we've done is over the years, we've entertained all of the different applications. This is the first, I think, of its type, as Director Alvarez mentioned, as far as being a for-profit. But what we've tried to do is work with all of our requesters or applicants to see if we could make it work. On occasion, we have had applications that don't fit neatly within the program. And so when that happens, we brought that forward to the board of directors for consideration for an exception to that rule. And most notably, those would be, as Director Alvarez pointed out, the nonprofits. We had a couple of different, not just churches, but also private schools that we've utilized water bottle filling stations for. So I do feel that this fits the underlying intent. Yes.
EJ, you're going too far. Before you go on, I just ask you the purpose of the program, and then we can talk about some of the other stuff you want to share. And I appreciate that. But again, is the purpose of the program to reduce the use of plastic bottles? I mean, again, I'm asking you the purpose, then I'd like to ask you the guidelines and so forth. I mean, did we have some guidelines that said the churches and businesses that what you were going on to talk about? So can you just kind of make sure I understand that, please?
Yes, that is correct. To reduce the use of single-use plastics and encourage the use of refillable water bottles.
Okay. And then do we have guidelines in terms of who can apply for funding for that?
Yes, as we started to receive more applications and really promote the program, West Basin created some guidelines as far as how we would receive those applicants, process them, and award them.
So do we have anything that says only nonprofit or public agencies or whatever? Do we have anything that says that?
Yes, we
Does it
do.
read- Okay, and
It's
so it does not include profit-making businesses? I mean, that's not part of the program and the criteria?
That is correct. It's for public spaces.
Okay, and this request is that a public space?
While members of the public would be there, it is on private property and for-profit business.
Right. Yeah, and the money, and the money that I know each district gets each year, is that money getting ready to go away if we don't use that money? Am I correct in that?
No, within our budget, we do a certain portion for each of the divisions. However, at the end of the year, the end of the fiscal year, we usually try to do everything we can to promote as many fill-in stations as possible. So in that regard, we have brought it to the board to kind of commingle the different division funds in order to fund a maximum amount of fill-in stations.
Yes, and we have not turned away any other requests in regards to this request today, correct?
I'm not aware of turning any applicants down in the past.
Okay. All right, well, I just wanted to hear that information. I mean, I heard Director Alvarez's perspective and in terms of nonprofits not being able to utilize the funds to do that, to have water bottle filling stations, but I know staff is diligent working in terms of getting the information out there for the public and other nonprofits to apply for the program. And if not, then if the purpose of the program is just what you said, I'm not sure if the nonprofit part makes sense. I mean, if the purpose is to reduce the use of plastic water bottles, and we're not turning down any nonprofit, I'm not sure if that makes sense, but I do want to make sure that the staff does outreach with everyone in terms of making sure it's available to everyone, every organization or every nonprofit. So thank you for that information.
Thank you, Director Gray.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna move on to our next item, which is item number 6, our information calendar. A monthly communications update. DJ?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this item 6A will be presented by Jen Jensen, our Public Information Specialist 2, and it begins on packet page 14.
Good morning, committee members. I will begin this presentation with an update of our press releases on packet page 16. If we could move to that, please. Thank you. This month, we deployed a press release following the announcement of Metropolitan Water District's new general manager appointment, expressing our support and referencing his prior professional connection that he has with our agency as the former assistant general manager. And on the next slide, 17, please, with a recap of our web news stories that promotes our programs and our district accomplishments. We published a story recapping the standing room only attendance that we had at our firescaping class in Rolling Hills. We also published a web story to promote that the firescaping workshop in Malibu and encourage registration for that. And then we had a story similar to the press release that we published recognizing the MWD new general manager. And the final web news story that we had for this reporting period was to open registration for the WRD collaboration class on sustainable landscape. And on to our earned media coverage on the next slide, please. El Segundo News came to our Water Harvest Festival and covered a story about it in their city broadcast channel. The story captured the spirit of that community event and really showed the joy that it brings to all of our community members and families. And it highlighted West Basin's longstanding recycled water production achievements with interviews from staff, President Gray, and an attendee as well. And then moving onward, Easy Reader and Peninsula News mentioned West Basin as a supporting agency in an article about the South Bay Community Coalition. Oh, if you can actually go back to that earned media slide, thank you. Like I said, Easy Reader and Peninsula News mentioned West Basin as a supporting agency in an article about the South Bay Community Coalition Against Hate in honor.
Customer service line.
Uh,
Para español, por favor, presione 2.
In honor of United Against Hate Week in October. And then Yahoo Finance mentioned West Basin in relation to the agency's contract with Tetra Tech to upgrade process control systems at our water treatment facilities. And then the online publication called City Watch wrote an article about water supply in Los Angeles and briefly mentioned West Basin along with Metropolitan in a section about the history of water districts in Southern California. And then the AP, along with many other outlets across the nation, actually picked up Metropolitan Water District's mass distributed press release announcing Shivaji Deshmukh's appointment to general manager. And the article did include West Basin as a key agency in his professional career that led to this appointment. And 2 urban girls promoted West Basin's Rain Girl giveaway in Inglewood, which was a nice shout out to promote this event to their audience. Typically, I don't include blogs in this earned media coverage, but I did with this one, just because 2 urban girls very often covers water industry topics. And this was a really nice way to promote our program to their audience. Okay, next slide, please. In the other news coverage on slide 19, this slide summarizes all of the SBESC e-blasts and newsletters for the Rain Barrel program, fire escaping workshops, grass replacement rebates, garden design classes, water harvest, and other West Basin public programs. This communication outreach really helps us to spread the word about how people can possibly get involved in our programs, and really is a great and wonderful education opportunity for people to learn about our services and opportunities. That coverage continues on the next slide, please. In total, we had 15 e-blasts go out this month and 2 newsletter inclusions with SBESC. And as always, all of these media clips from this report, both earned and other coverage, can be found on packet page 34 following this report. And for our social media report on page 21, in this reporting period, our social media team posted a total of 65 times across all platforms, including 36 on Instagram, 21 times on Facebook, and 8 posts on LinkedIn. That graph to the right represents the volume of engagements, which visually demonstrates for you all how often people are engaging with West Basin's posts via clicking on links, commenting, liking, sharing, and saving our posts as well. So the total engagements for this reporting period were 7,927. There's a spike in engagement on that report on October 10th, and this is likely due to several ads that we placed to boost visibility of our posts for community programs and our free public services. So that really just showcases how effective those ads can be to our outreach on social media and the effectiveness of people seeing our posts. And then the total impressions or number of times that our content was displayed to users on all platforms for this reporting period was 477,489. So this stat really gives a perspective on the exposure that our content is receiving, which in turn can increase visibility of our post content on all of our platforms and share our overall mission. Next slide, please. On this slide, we share the top performing social posts on each platform for the reporting month. Starting on the left slide for Instagram, the You Are Invited to the Water Harvest Reel gained 1,098 views. And then on Facebook, our top post was about the fire escaping workshop at Rolling Hill City Hall, which reached 213 accounts. And then on LinkedIn, we received 243 engagements for the post highlighting the 2025 Water Reuse Association California Conference recap. Moving on to packet page 23, please, for our community relations update. This slide and the following slides really provides a comprehensive list of community events and sponsorships since the last committee meeting. West Basin staff represented the agency by attending 24 events in our service areas. And then this reporting period began with the Speakers Bureau event at Cal State Long Beach that drew 200 guests, followed by a California Friendly Landscape class in Lomita that welcomed 39 attendees. And then that rain barrel event in Culver City followed, where we gave away 110 rain barrels at West LA College. And then Saturday, October 18th was also a busy day. We engaged with 156 attendees at the Taste of Soul event, and then 150 guest interactions during the Culver City Art Walk and Roll. Play on words there. It's cute. And then 323 at the Little League Special Needs Friendship Festival. And then at the bottom there, you'll see the 30th anniversary of Recycled Water Luncheon, welcomed 70 guests, and was followed by Water Harvest 2 days later, which I'll talk about later in this report. Next slide, please. Continuing on to this community relations update on the next slide. A very successful Palos Verdes Recycled Water Pipeline ribbon cutting ceremony. The following week welcomed 100 guests with also, and then moving on, like the night in Inglewood on Halloween, had 66 engagements to end October. And then in November, with a big bang, we gave away 300 rain barrels at the Inglewood event on November 1st. And that was followed by 7 engagements at the Undercover Heroes Gala later that evening. Next slide, please. To wrap up the community relations update portion of the report, a couple of tours to note. The USC Civil and Environmental Engineer class had 17 attendees at that tour. And then a tour for the Santa Monica College with 27 attendees, and a tour for Los Angeles Trade Tech College with 7 attendees. Lucky number 7's there. And then moving on to the program section of the report, slide 27, please, for a recap of this year's Water Harvest Festival. It was a fantastic day. We will share a more detailed report at next month's committee meeting, as we're still organizing kind of like a full recap of all of the event's festivities, but I'm happy to share some preliminary numbers with you today. We welcomed 905 guests that morning. 27 booths participated, with 4 new booths, including Hazen, LA County Department of Regional Planning, LA County West Vector Control, and Lusinger High School. And then 18 program partners contributed $61,000 in partnership funding, and that is the most that we have received in the history of this event in sponsorships. So a nice nod for that. And then we had a combined total of 76 volunteers and staff from West Basin helping that day to run really smoothly and contributing to the success of that event. On the next slide, 28, please, I'll share the floor with Fritz to my right here to give an update on our school tour program.
Good morning, committee. I'm here to give you a brief update on the West Basin School Tour Field Trip Program. It is set to start on December 2nd, and I am thrilled to start hosting field trips for our local students. Now, the delayed start of this important program has allowed for the fire panel upgrade work to occur at the Edward C. Little Water Recycling Facility, and this project is anticipated to be completed next week. Typically, school field trips start in mid-September and are offered to service area teachers on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. To offset nearly 3 months of unavailability, I added 22 Friday field trips to the calendar, and they have all been reserved by teachers. And the field trip program is fully booked for the 2025-26 academic year. The total anticipated number of students reached is either on par or higher than in previous years. However, the number of field trips does depend on dry weather. So Fridays that are normally reserved as rainy day backup dates have all been scheduled in advance to allow for the field trip cancellations that happened because of the construction. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration has declared that La Nina conditions have ended, and the tropical Pacific is now in a neutral state, which makes weather pattern for the upcoming winter more difficult to predict. So fingers crossed for dry days when field trips are scheduled. Any canceled field trips due to inclement weather will be placed on a priority list to schedule for the following academic year. So they'll get to schedule first before we reach out to the wider service area. And we look forward to hosting 100 enriching field trips for our service area teachers and students. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you for the update. I'll bring it behind the dais. Director Deere, do you have any comments to the presentation?
I'm glad that they were able to fold in more tours to keep the thing going, because it's a great program. You folks do a good job. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Deere. Director Gray, do you have any comments on the communications update? Director Gray, are you still there?
Oh, Director Grant, I apologize. You've been muted. If you can hit *6 to unmute. Thank you. There you are.
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I wanted to thank the team, staff, everyone, for that report, because I know you did a lot of outreach activities in the city of Inglewood. You mentioned those, and I'm so glad you did, because those activities did include a lot of folks there, and so that means our message is getting out. Certainly, people are being aware of West Basin. So thank you, and I know you're gonna come back with a more comprehensive report on water harvest, but it was absolutely fabulous. I'll say that and wait for your other report when you do come back. But thank you to staff. I know you guys do a lot to support West Basin, so thank you very much.
Thank you, Director Gray. I just wanted to say thank you to staff on everything that you do when it comes to all of our programs that were mentioned. And I can't wait to hear back on the Harvest Festival and the numbers too. But 900, that's a lot of people. Yeah, but. Oh, yeah.
Are you finished? I'm finished. Thank you,
Okay,
Jen.
perfect.
Oh,
I'll take it back
sorry.
if I can. No, you're
Sorry.
okay. I could sense wrapping it up. Hold on a
Okay.
second. But I almost did. Okay, next slide. Yes, 29, please. For our residential grass replacement rebate program update, we're now at 272 total signups for the program. This number grows each time I report back to the committee. So staff is currently still working through applications to ensure eligibility requirements and get people started and progressing with this program. And as always, we'll continue to update you as this moves forward. On slide 30, please, we'll provide an update on the promotion for the $7 business and public agencies grass replacement rebate program. So in prior committee reports, we've told you about our marketing rollout with details listed on this slide, but we are launching phase 2 marketing tactics, which include postcard mailers, additional social media posts, and direct marketing mailers to businesses, property management, and city officials. So we'll keep the board apprised of efforts and progress as this progresses. Next slide, please, page 31. We'll share the most recent information on the garden design classes. The last class on October 9th at the Lomita Library, like I mentioned in the community relations, but I'll reiterate here, had 39 attendees. And then the next class is scheduled for November 19th in Inglewood next week at Darby Park. So we are continuing to market these classes through our website, flyer, social media, and SBESCE blasts, and also calendar listings. And then we are currently working to schedule the remaining 5 classes this spring for a total of 9 classes this fiscal year. And then on slide 32, we have programmatic and promotional updates for our rain barrel giveaway events. For a quick update on the most recent one, again, I said this in the community relations update, but I'll say it again because it's just really great. This event was at Morningside High School and we gave away all 300 rain barrels. I was at that event, and just like all of the others in the past, Gus just does a really good job of running a smooth ship. And we really had a great time keeping the line of cars moving and loaded up all morning. So the final event will be in Malibu later this month.
On the next slide, 33, we're happy to share the continuation of our firescaping workshops. The latest workshop on November 12th in Malibu City Hall welcomed 25 attendees, and we're working to schedule 2 more workshops in spring 2026, along with marketing tactics to promote those events as always. So that concludes my report, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Jen, for the communications update. Okay. E, monthly conservation programs update, EJ?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this brings up Gus Mason, our Senior Water Policy and Resources Analyst. And this item begins on packet page 53.
And good morning, Director White, and members of the committee and board. Yes, let's see, next slide, please. Yes, Jen touched on this, our landscape design program. We continue to promote our pre-landscape designs, and we continue to get signups. Today, we have 272 signups, and our designer has provided 42 landscape designs. And we continue to reach out to those residents who've applied. And I do want to thank our intern Chloe for assisting our residents, helping them to get in contact with our landscape designer so they can get their landscape designs. Our landscape designer, Llewellyn Swayzer, she was actually at our Water Harvest event over in our Garden Corner booth, and she was helping customers, getting folks interested in the free landscape designs. So that was good to see. Next slide, please. We continue to promote our extra $1 per square foot rebate here from our grant with USBR. As you know, the government was shut down, but it has reopened, so it's good news. We did receive a verbal from USBR that they're going to extend our agreement to June 30th next year, and so we're still waiting for the official agreement and extension. So we're at the back. We're going to staff will be reaching back out to them to see how soon we can get that extension. Next slide, please. And here we show a graph of the funding that's been paid out, the remaining funding. So we are tracking these numbers. Next slide, please. And this is our DWR grant, $6 per square foot for our disadvantaged communities. As you can see here, we have about 5,000 square feet remaining. So we're doing very well with this grant. Next slide. And this is the grant where we received an agreement, we received approval to reallocate some of our funding. As you can see here on the graph, the pie chart on the right, we added $50,000 to our landscape designers agreement to conduct more landscape designs. And we added $50,000 for parkways to construct additional parkways. Next slide. And we continue to promote the new $7 per square foot rebate. I attended a meeting this week at the South Bay COG. It was their infrastructure work group committee meeting, and I promoted this to that working group. They have folks from the cities, public works, who attend this. So I wanted to really get the message across that this is the highest rebate that MWD has ever provided, and it's probably only going to be last through March this spring. They anticipate all the funding to be reserved by then, so we're trying to get the word out to our cities to apply now for this increased rebate. Next slide, please. And as you can see here are the rebates that MWD provides in the green. West Basin through our grants, we add additional funding in the orange, and then on the far right in the blue are the actual rebate amounts. So I think this helps to simplify who's adding funding to what customer type. Any questions on this here? No. Okay, next slide, please. And as Jen mentioned, we had a great event at Eaglewood High School. Gave away all 300 rain barrels. And then our last event is November 22nd at Malibu City Hall. And so our numbers continue to rise. Our goal was to try to give away 100, but if the numbers keep going up, we may be able to take a little bit more, hopefully, to Malibu. It would be great to see more of those residents get rain barrels there. So that'll be our last event. Next slide. Oh, before next slide. And I'm also in the process of scheduling the check presentations to the volunteer groups, all the volunteer groups that helped us for all the events. So I'll be coordinating with board services and our directors on dates to present the checks. Next slide. And this is the new program we launched up in the Malibu area with our partners, Las Virgenes Municipal Water District, LA County Waterworks District. We have the project manager for this new project. It's called Your Smart Yard. There's a website for this program, and it's offering discounted, kind of a high-end discounted landscape designs to residents. And so we're promoting this program with the city of Malibu and Las Virgenes. So this is the new program. So we're going to see how it goes in those areas. Next slide, please. And this Saturday, we're going to be distributing native plant kits in the Calabasas area as part of that new program. We had about 24 residents from Malibu and Topanga pre-purchase kits about 5 months ago, and now they're going to pick them up this Saturday. And so we'll have staff there, Las Virgenes, West Basin, and from the city of Malibu. So we'll see. I'll have to bring my umbrella, I think. So or maybe more than that. We are going to go rain or shine for that event. And we plan on doing this again next year, next summer, fall time. Next slide, please. And we hired our landscape contractor, Ecotech Services. The board approved our vendor, and we're updating our marketing material. So we're excited to relaunch phase 2 of the Parkway Beautification Program. And the goal is to install 25 to 35 free parkways in our low-income areas. So we're excited to launch this again, and we're anticipating to launch in early January or sooner if we can. This is a really popular program, so we can't wait to restart this program. Next slide, please. And these are our classes. We had a fire escaping class last night at the city of Malibu. We had 25 residents attend, very successful class. The residents had a lot of questions. The instructor did a great job there talking about everything. And I wanted to thank Aaron from our PI department for being there with me last night, talking to residents about our programs. So it's a very good class. And we're hoping to have the class next week at Darby Park. Our current registrations right now are at 23. And so Metropolitan requires 40 RSVPs 2 weeks out for their classes to hold a class. And so we're at 23, and it's next week. So our the trainer, Green Media Creations, they're actually checking with MWD to see if they would allow us to hold the class with, say, maybe 30 registrations next week. And so we are continuing to promote the class, and we'll get back to board services and EJ, and we'll let the board know if we do need to cancel the class or not. So we're waiting to hear today some news from the vendor to see if we can hold this class. Hopefully they can relax on that 40 number, which I think is a bit high myself. Having 30 people in a class is, I think, a pretty good number. So, but we'll come back to the committee to see if we can hold this class next week. Next slide. I think that's all for me. Right. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you guys for presentation. I'll bring it behind the dais. Director Deere, do you have any comments?
No, thank you.
Director Gray, do you have any comments on Gus's
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah, go
yes,
ahead.
thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. I want to thank Gus and staff and everyone involved in my rain barrel giveaway. It was very successful as usual, and thank you for all the other activities and programs that you guys implement. I do have a question. Gus, you mentioned a class, potential class at Darby Park. Can you tell me the date and time again? And I'm sure Board Services will let me know if that class is still going on. But can you tell me that now?
Yes, Director Gray, it's on November 19th. Is that Wednesday, Jen? It's next Wednesday, next week at 11 a.m. at Darby Park.
Okay, and Board Services, and no, Desiree will let me know if it's on. I just wanted to make sure. November 19th at, you said 1 o'clock?
11 a.m.
Okay, potentially. All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome, Director Gray.
Thank you for
Thank
your
you.
report. Sure.
Thank you, Director Gray. I have a couple questions, Gus, on your report. If you can go back to the slide where it mentions the your smartyard.org program. You get page 64. Is that the first time that we've partnered with this type of application?
A few years ago, good question, Director. A few years ago, we partnered, I would say about 5-6 years ago, maybe 8. We partnered with the city of Malibu and LA County Waterworks on a grant that we received. It was called Malibu Smart, Topanga Smart. And that was through our IRWAM funding. Probably 4, I'm not sure which proposition that was, because you're going back. But that was the first time that we worked together with the city and the retailer to develop a project and go after funding. And we received that grant. And that ended about 2 or 3 years ago. And so we partnered this time with Las Virgenes and the retailer, LA County, and the city of Malibu is involved to help us promote. But that's the whole intent of the IRWAM, this regional grant program, is they want agencies to work together to have bigger, broader programs. So this is the second time.
Yeah, I think that's great. And then second, yeah, thank you for the presentation and the update on everything. Moving right along.
Great. Yeah, there we are. Keep moving on.
Director Favai, if I could just add, when it comes to the integrated regional water management, the grant that Gus mentioned, it's important to note that the greater LA County is broken up into different subregions. And so West Basin is in multiple different subregions. And a good example of kind of looking at the totality of greater LA County, the PV lateral, that was funded through integrated regional water management for the South Santa Monica Bay. But we always look to see, the region holistically. And so tapping into the North Santa Monica Bay, we were able to secure this grant. Seeing the success of the Malibu Topanga Smart program, Las Virgenes approached us on a similar style of program to really target large landscapes. So it's a unique conservation program targeting that area. But we're always looking to balance that out with the South Santa Monica Bay and the North Santa Monica Bay.
Thank you, EJ. Okay, our next item is number 7. Do we have any items closed session, EJ?
No closed session items?
Okay, number 8, do we have any directors' comments? I'll start with Director Deere.
Our very efficient staff has been doing great jobs on all these programs. I appreciate it very much. Nice going.
Director Deere. Director Gray, any final comments or future agenda items?
Just what Director Deere said, very appreciative of staff, not surprised. They do wonderful, great work. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Director Gray. I have one last comment for the staff we gave. I met with Mayor Victoria Dosey from Palos Verdes Estate. And she mentioned to me that it would be great for our staff our high staff to give a presentation on, application, programs that we have, to offer her, constituents and so forth, residents in Palo Verde states. She's not familiar with, what West Basin offers. So it'd be nice to have staff, and I can be there as well, to give a presentation and update on conservation programs and like the Green Barrel events and stuff like that. It's always good to expand, especially in the four cities in the peninsula, to understand what our programs are and so forth. So, to EJ.
No, thank you for that. We're happy to reach out to her specifically, but perhaps what we could do is ask for an opportunity to come and present before a city council meeting.
Yes, yes,
Holistically.
that's what she was looking for, like probably in the January timeline, because she mentioned that November, December's,
Yeah.
the holidays.
Okay. We will do that. Thank you very much for the context.
Yeah, next item is the website. Adjournment. All right, thank you, everyone. Meeting adjourned.